Welcome to the mind training of A Course in Miracles, a program of recovery from the idea that you could have been separate from the entirety of reality. It's the practice of the conversion of your conceptual mind to come to the recognition through a miracle procedure that you are whole and perfect as you were created, and we're doing a series of videos. Some of you may have seen some of the other ones in the workbook of A Course in Miracles, which would obviously be required since the miracle is the necessity for you to have an experience in the realization of who you really are. They call me an advanced teacher, obviously, because I have had some experiences. How you identify my experiences really could not mean anything in particular, except in my declaration that I have seen now within myself a new me that no longer needs to suffer pain and death. A self versus what I used to call my self-concept. A realization that I am whole and perfect as I was created. Okay, so we're at the 131st day of the mind training of the workbook of this Course in Miracles. And it says very simply that no one can fail who seeks the truth. I'm going to try to make a little sense out of that for you. If you'll accept the fundamental premise that your conceptual mind is the cause of this world, and I assure you that it is, this little place of separation that you've identified yourself as a human being. It's very possible for you to admit that if you really wanted to find the truth, it would be impossible that you would not do so. I'm always fascinated by what you call spiritual teachers. They act as though somehow they're searching for the truth about themselves on some sort of spiritual path based on their conceptual awareness of themselves. First of all, it would be impossible that if you really wanted the truth, you could not find it. And immediately, since you are the truth, if you know there is a single reality, you could not be that. So this course offers you the solution of the necessity for you to remember that as you have defined yourself in your conceptual identity has been very simply, in time, a denial of who you really are. Can you see that with me? You want to try that with me to see how that offends you? Say to me, I am whole and perfect as God created me. Yes, yes. What does my Savior Jesus say? Therefore, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. I am offering you the certainty of a single shared mind, okay, that gives us the entirety of this covenant of the realization of who we are in the recognition that this moment of devastation that just for a second, for an instant, caused us to be within terror and fear is passed away. I'm in your mind now telling you that that's true. So this lesson is going to say very simply, if you really want the truth about who you are to be eternally happy and back in heaven, this is a practice of the procedure that will show you the manner in which it can come about. All right. Let's go back just for a moment and look at the last part of lesson 130, which said very simply, you can't see two worlds. You're either going to occupy yourself in this dark form of the necessity to get old and die, or you're going to have a realization that in fact this world was over and gone a long time ago. Listen with me. So let's remind you it's impossible to see two worlds which have no overlap of any kind. Seek for the one, the other disappears, but one remains. They are the range of choice beyond which your decision cannot go. The real and the unreal are all there are to choose between, and nothing more than these. Today we will attempt no compromise where none is possible. The world you see is proof you have already made a choice as all-embracing as its opposite. What we would teach today is more than just the lesson that you cannot see two worlds. It also teaches that the one you see is quite consistent from the point of view from which you see it. It is all a piece because it stems from one emotion and reflects its source in everything that you see. Let's practice 6 times today. In thanks and gratitude, we gladly give 5 minutes to the thought that ends all compromise and doubt and go beyond them all as one. We will not make 1,000 meaningless distinctions nor attempt to bring with us a little part of unreality as we devote our minds to finding only what is real. Begin your searching for the other world by asking for a strength beyond your own and recognize what it is you seek. You don't want illusions. And you come to these 5 minutes emptying your hands of all the petty treasures of this world. What do? You wait for God to help you as you say, it is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and my deliverance. God will be there, for you have called upon the great, unfailing power which will take this giant step with you in gratitude. Nor will you fail to see his thanks expressed in tangible perception and in truth. I'm coming back to you for just a moment because I want you to see what that lesson offered you. Nor will you fail to see his expression of the new discovery of you in a tangible proof of the enjoyment that you can have in performing this lesson. How long did it take you there, wherever you were? Wherever you were in your occupation. Maybe you were in an office. Maybe you were driving in your car. Maybe you were taking care of the baby. Maybe you were occupied in a sport activity. Maybe you were in the privacy of your own abode, performing acts of necessity within your own mind. What happened then in that lesson is that in that little 5-minute segment, you made a discovery about yourself that you never thought possible. And the reason you never thought it was possible is because it wasn't possible. It did require some mind training. The need was for you to at least consider the possibility of what I'm offering you, which is nothing actually but a direct link with creative reality. Yes, it is a meditative technique. Yes, it is a form of prayer. And yes, you cannot fail at it. But certainly if you're going to practice this Course in Miracles, you're going to have to take the time within your busy schedule of death, your busy schedule to exist in that rotting carcass of unreality, to at least acknowledge through a religious experience that a complete alternative is possible for you. Did you see that? Now that's the excitement that we can share. Just as obviously, if there is no experience involved in it, it would be literally impossible for you to see the truth. So in that sense, this is an enlightening procedure. Let's complete this lesson now together. Listen. God will be there, for you have called upon the great unfailing power which will take this giant step with you in gratitude. Nor will you fail to see his thanks expressed in tangible perception and in truth. You will not doubt what you will look upon, for though it is perception, it is not the kind of seeing that your eyes alone have ever seen before. and you will know God's strength upheld you as you make this choice.